Hello, my name is Sam. I'm ushering in. I'm a panelist, but not here. This is not my panel. We're going to talk to this young man about his experiences and give him advice on future dating endeavors that will help you also in the future. I do panels. So tell us your name.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vernon.
Hi, Vernon.
And I suck at dating.
Okay, Vernon, give us a quick rundown of something that recently happened that was involved in dating life.
All right. Well, it seemed to just be in general. It seems like, I meet up with some girl. Let's stick with the dating part. Things are hitting it off, and then, she just kind of goes into the ether, and I never hear from her again. This also happened with friends as well. After a while, I'm like, well, I guess I'm ugly. So I just went ahead and, say, well, they come, they don't, they don't.
Okay, so first tip of advice, you are not ugly. I'm going to give you that right now.
Oh, my God.
No one in this event is ugly. Nobody.
You're a beautiful man, Vernon.
Have you ever considered that maybe the type of people that you're going after is not the type of people that you should be going after?
That's true, but I tend to aim for, girls that are from this sort of culture, if you will. So, into anime.
Let me ask you a question, Vernon. What is your most favorite medium of, entertainment? What do you like to do?
Well, I like memes.
You like
Spicy
memes?
Just tasty, delicious memes.
Have you ever met a girl that likes the memes on the same level of your memedom?
No, and that hurts me.
I think, Vernon, that then you need to find someone who enjoys and what you like. They're on the same passion level as you. Anything below, it's not going to work. Anything higher, you can work up to that situation.
So I'll say my issue is, as I'm really into metal music, the amount of girls that go to metal shows is few, far, and in between. So try to find one of those said girls is hard enough. I've been trying to at least find someone that's passionate about music in general, which is hard enough in and of itself. They're just not out there, or at least I can't find them. Or I try to talk to other.
Have you tried looking into scenes that are strictly for metal music and or strictly for music loving?
Yeah. Let's see, I go to concerts once a week. That's basically what I do.
I mean, that's a good start.
And I do. The thing is, when you go to, I guess, there is, certain local scenes, and I guess I'm in one specific scene and have groups of friends. But, yeah, you're probably right about the best way to do is always break out of that and go to a different kind of scene, which is sometimes hard if you don't know the exact venues or even
right, because if you're always within the same square, you're obviously not going to find anyone because that's you've already gone through all that, so you're like, let me go and try to find and just spread out a little bit more. You don't want to go too far. Like if you meet someone who's doesn't even know what a video game is, that's not going to help you. So, hi. You can come in if you like. No? Okay. I was wondering if they were the panelists. I'd be like, can you... Yeah, still no. They are still not here.
We're the substitutes.
Yeah.
How we doing so far? Rate 5 stars and don't forget to subscribe, okay?
To the non-existent panel.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, definitely.
There is a microphone. Please take it.
Or you can just tell us if you like.
You have clearly won the dating game.
Yes.
Look at that, baby. It's about to pop. It could pop right now.
Speaking of, sorry, now I'm speaking of a friend that may or may have not gotten pregnant 2 years ago at MAGLabs.
Oh, my.
Or Mag Classic.
Excellent.
Definitely.
I only know this because
Well,
I know the date that her babies were born, and I'm like, that is exactly 9 months after Mag.
Man, it's the place of magic.
That is nerd love right there.
So just listening to both of your stories, you seem to be very focused on finding a girl who has the same exact passion as you and the same specific hobby. And I don't think you necessarily need to have someone who's into the exact same thing as you, just someone who's tolerant and accepting of the things you're into. You can enjoy things separately. They don't need to be exactly the same. Now, you say you're into metal. You might not get a girl that's definitely into metal, but being passionate about music is important.
Right.
So make your needs more general. Are you the actual panelist?
Are you the panelist?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Oh. That's what we were worried about.
I'm late, and I was like, I guess I'm not.
I was trying to save your panel, good sir.
We were trying to make people not
throw salt at you.
So by the time we get to this, you'll kick in the room.
Thank you. I've never had a panel at MAGFest that isn't my set. I totally forgot. They're like getting sound check going and stuff.
I was your dancing monkey.
Thank you, dancing monkey. I had the guys at the door. I was like, wait, is there a panel still going on? They're like, well, they're talking about penises and vaginas. Wait, what? Were you guys? I don't know. That's what the door said. Hi, I'm eating a pretzel into a microphone like an asshole. All right. So the way this panel works, I gotta know where to put this. It's a Q&A type thing. I don't have like a here's a PowerPoint presentation on how to date, because it's not that simple. It's never one way of anything. Like nothing is the same ever. So I have stuff that I can say that's general kind of advice, but I'd rather questions from you guys, and then we can all discuss, because I don't know everything. My point of being here to mediate what I feel like I could do this is I've done a lot of stupid shit. I've done a lot of dumb like dating things. Like well, this was like in high school, like ages ago, but I told a girl I loved her, who I didn't even know. We never had a full conversation, but I told her in a letter. That was stupid. Yeah. But again, like I learned, I didn't keep telling girls stuff like that. Who has a question?
What's the point of it all?
Start with the easy questions. The easy ones.
Yeah, that's a good start one. So yeah, some people are scared to be alone. Some people just like having someone they can depend on. Procreation's a part of it, but there are ace people who want to be in relationships and never want to procreate. I don't want a baby. That opened it up hard. Who's got another question? One that could more easily be answered. I'll start with the advice: don't write a girl a letter that you barely know that says you love her. That's stupid. Oh.
Ask her. No, please. No.
Your hand went up first, but she shouted.
I was just being loud, please.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
What was I gonna ask? See?
Back to you.
That was a good move. Wow. Thank you. So, should I be late to the date or panel? You want to use 15 minutes late.
Back to you. It was 10. Wait, do you remember your question?
I do, yeah. Okay, what would you recommend for people to find someone or go on dates? Do you recommend online dating or meeting people and casually talking to them and trying to get to that point?
So the tricky part with that one, online dating has its benefits for sure because you can find the people. Finding people in real life to date is trickier because you don't know where to meet them. That's a big question as I get a lot, is like, where do you meet people to date? Generally, you want to find somebody with the same interest. It's a good starting point. You don't need somebody with the same interest, for sure. I've been in love twice, and the second girl loved gardening. I don't give a shit about gardening. I couldn't care less about gardening. And she didn't really like video games, and I love video games. But we had music, like we both were musicians, so we had that to go on. But again, like my big pop culture interests were different than hers. But we still got along because chemistry's a big part of it. But finding somebody with the same interests is that's a whole big preamble for. All right. There's a place called Meetup.com. Meetup.com is really good because you're not there to meet like dating people. You're there to meet people. Because ideally you want to find somebody and be their friend first. Like it's better if you meet somebody that way because you get along. Because there's a different. It's tricky to find the difference between like infatuation and actually liking somebody. That's the thing that I still deal with. Like, do I like them or do I just think they're a rad person? But Meetup.com is really good. Because if you like board games, you can find board game meetups. If you like, anime, you can find anime like meetups and stuff like that where people just want to hang out with a few other people and watch anime. Or you could host one and try and find people. There's also, like, if you like board games, you can go to board game shops. They'll have board game days where you and other people play board games. And board games are a great way to get to know somebody because unlike dinner where like you're just focused on each other and you have to think of things to say, but like board games, you're all around doing something. You're all doing a common action. Video games works the same way. It's just harder to find video game meetups because board games are meant to be multiplayer, pretty much always. You can't either way, pretty much always. Board games are a great way to meet people. That's one of my big go-to, especially because it's the kind of crowd that generally you guys aren't going to be against board games. But like going to video game shops where they might have, if you have a local like indie video game shop that do like game days where they have like tournaments and stuff, because people aren't always there just to play the tournaments. They're there to hang out with their friends, and it's a reason to be around people and talk to people because it's meant to be social. Who has other advice on how to meet people you would maybe be interested in? Library? What's the tagline of library? Be quiet. No, I know you can still talk at a library. They just don't want you to be loud. Yeah. But again, like, who raise your hand if you've been in a library in the last 6 months?
6 years.
Yeah, see, I was going with the yes. Yeah, so that's have you been? Okay, so that's 3. How many has been in the last 6 years? It's 7, 8. All right, so yeah. So if you're trying to meet a con person, I don't know, they can find most of that information on the internet.
Libraries is that I don't usually go there to find people. I usually go there to either read or study.
Yeah, not a lot of people are going to a library to be social.
Find people to socialize.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Like with a coffee shop, you also like people aren't exactly there to meet people. They're usually there to fuck with the internet, spin the Pokestop, and drink coffee. But actually, like if it's an environment where it's somebody that's focused on something, you want to try and get in on that. It's not exactly like they're open to be social in the first place. So that's the tricky part of the library too. Who has any more other places that you meet people? Again, meetup.com is really good, but who has other places to meet people? Because it's not even like meeting somebody you want to date exactly. The Metro. People love being talked to. Right here. Yeah, see, like, cons are a good place, too. Because, like, walking up to a stranger and talking to them at a con is not that difficult. And there's plenty of things to talk about. Who's got the next question? Anybody else got another? Wait. Yeah, what you got?
So I have a friend who I would classify as a stereotypical nice guy. In the sense that...
There's 2 very different ways this can go.
Yeah, where the sense that he's like, he does all these things to be quote-unquote like subservient, but then if it just doesn't work out, he just keeps on bitching like about the girl and whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I keep on telling him like, you don't need to do that. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It doesn't mean you can't find anyone else. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's getting to him. So do you have any advice on that?
I mean, bring him here. Not to talk to him directly, but like... Oh, yeah. I mean, you gotta get the point across that just because somebody is rad doesn't mean you need to date them. Like, just somebody that's a problem that I've had for a lot of times. Like, somebody's really cool, it doesn't mean that I need to date them. You can just be friends with somebody. But again, like, you gotta get a point across that it's not fucking The Sims. If you give them gifts and talk to them, that doesn't mean they're gonna eventually fall in love with you. You have to know when somebody has, like, a connection to you. If they want to talk to you, you gotta. It's a tricky thing to try and tell somebody. Mainly, you're not. Yeah, nobody's entitled to anything. If somebody was walking up to him and gave him a gift and was like, "Now can I drive your car?" I'd be like, "No, you can't drive my car because you were nice to me." Like, I know it's a different thing than, but it is. Dude, you expect something for something that somebody didn't ask for. When you get somebody a birthday gift, it doesn't. So what were you saying?
The surest way to when he said about entitled is to for lack of a better word, to depersonalize yourself. Don't make it all about you.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, therefore it's a slight against me. It's a problem everywhere in society.
Yeah.
People, they make it all about them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge. That is a very good point. Because it is. They're not. It doesn't mean they don't like. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's you they don't like. It might have been because you came up to them and was like, "Here's a thing. Now, do you like me?" Wait, what were you saying?
I was just going to add that it's different to do something for someone because you generally want to do something for someone than doing something for someone because you want them to see you in a particular way.
Yeah.
Do things that you want to do, don't things that you think you have to do.
Yeah, and mostly people can kind of tell whenever you're expecting something back.
Right.
I mean, there's the classic, like, if you get her dinner, then blah blah blah. No, that means nothing. Just because I will get to you. Like if you're going, I remember one time I was going to a movie and I paid for a girl's ticket because I went before her. I was trying to make a move or whatever, but she didn't care, and that doesn't matter. I didn't feel exactly that way then because I was young and dumber. But yeah, you can't expect something just because you did something that they didn't want, would you?
I was going to say to answer her question.
Yeah.
Tell your friend he has a 2-week time period. He has 2 weeks to get to a certain step. So every time he wants something, he's got to set a time date. So if he wants like a hug, he's got 2 days. If he wants a kiss, he's got 1 week.
Why? But why?
Well,
Why?
so we can motivate him to move to the next step.
But then wouldn't it also be like, okay, now I want a hug. Now let me just
It depends on his brain though, because he might be expecting it. Well, your point is to try to get him to move on. Well, that's the thing is he's already his problem is already that he's expecting stuff or doing stuff. But if he starts saying like, if I got 2 days a hug, I expect a hug. That's gonna be worse for him, I think.
Yeah, but I see the kind of point he's trying to say.
I see the point where you're trying to get him to move on away and stop laser focusing on somebody. Never focus. Like don't. In those early stages, you should not focus that hard. If you don't know how they feel, it's getting out of control. And it's not usually as inner talking. Hold on, you were raising your hand. Did you want to add to it? I'll come to you too, yeah. And you, what you?
If I was him, I'd just on the first date tell the person you're dating what you expect from the relationship.
What do you want?
Not okay, yeah. What you're interested in, not what you expect. Yeah. That's just tricking wording. I know what you're saying. That's just tricky wording. But yeah, I mean, if you're asking them on a date, they hopefully know, but you kind of want to make it clear. Well, you can. That's tricky. What were you saying?
I was going to say, I would base it on communication. Like, for example, I would be pretty hands-off. I'm just like, look, you want to go here, you want to go there.
Yeah.
If she doesn't respond or she doesn't communicate, it's like, oh.
Why do you want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you?
No, I'm saying.
Like that's the problem. That's something that I had to realize.
That's the thing.
That's the big thing that I had to learn, and that people need to learn sometimes is.
I guess I should clarify, like, he doesn't go on dates. It's just like,
It's even worse. Yeah, he's expecting more about doing.
stuff with the dates. I mean, I can understand, like, saying, hey, I want to be, like, in a serious relationship eventually. But,
Yeah.
not in this scenario.
He's just being nice and like that bitch didn't do the thing that I expected her to do. It's even worse. Wait, you had something to add to it. Okay, then I'll come back to you. But it's like yeah. Get the point across. A, that's not The Sims. B, why are you gonna be with somebody who's doesn't want to be with you? Again, like I understand like winning somebody over, but there's usually some kind of connection before that makes you want to win them. Like otherwise, you're just being like, "That's pretty, I want it." Like otherwise, you need more reason than "That's pretty, I want it." Like you need more reason than that. Like if you're trying to get somebody to date you, it's because you get along with them, not just because they're because they are pretty or they do something cool or something like that. You had a pivot. What was your? Oh yeah. Does anybody want to add? Well, you had a hand. Do you want to add to this, or do you have a new question? I'll come. Okay.
Okay, so I want to hear everyone's thoughts on who pays, because I've had some discussions with some of my single friends.
Yeah.
And some guys have experienced dating women who expect the man to always pay.
Nah.
Some who like pay the first date. Some who like they need to at least have an offer. So
Yeah.
Totally not me she's talking about.
No, So my opinion is it should be a little bit of both. Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
On the first date, it's always equal.
Yeah, on the first date, like first date can go either way. Once you've done more than a first date, you should really just be like, I'll buy you, you buy me. Just flip.
But good luck with that IRL.
Yeah, it's tricky IRL for sure.
yeah, like I've talked to some women who always expect the man to pay the first date.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I
It should, but yeah.
If I say, hey, can I invite you out for some drinks? It's 1 or 2 drinks, shouldn't be unless you're in DC. Arm away, but that's neither here nor there. You should, as a nice gesture, generally just pay. But then
Okay.
if it continues more, then you go Dutch.
Did you have add to it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I pretty much agree with that. If you say to someone, "Hey, I want to take you out to dinner," then you're taking them out to dinner.
Yeah.
But after that, it should be a discussion that could have many factors, whether it's simply social reasons or, one of you might make more money and therefore the person who generally suggests going out to food and
Yeah.
kind of should pay more.
So what do you do if you're in a situation where you're dating someone who always expects you to pay?
Have a discussion.
Talk to them like they're an adult.
How do you say to them, hey, is it okay if you pay sometimes? If you still like the person?
Yeah, look, the kind of the way that I put it is like, because nobody wants to hear like, you got to pay sometimes. But just like, it's better to be like, I'll buy you dinner this time. Like it's the best groove to get in is like, we'll buy each other dinner. Because like you don't want to, whenever you enter like, that's not the discussion exactly, but when you enter actual dollar bills into it, it's weird to be like, oh yeah, dinner costs, $8. Can you give me $8? Nobody wants to give somebody $8. It's easier mentally just to be like, I'll pay for this one, you pay for the next one. That's the best groove to get in.
Get into that groove like naturally?
No, not always. Some people, if you got 2 people who are thinking about it, yeah, you generally hope somebody else is going to be like, let's just do the normal thing that other people do. Did you have add to it?
Yeah, I have an ad. So my general thing is that normally I always expect the guy to pay for the first date. But I mean, if he says I can't or I want to share, then I'm not going to have like a, hissy fit. But
Yeah.
I think it's traditional to expect the guy to pay. So my rule of thumb is the first 2 dates the guy pays. But if by the 3rd date the girl does not pay or offer to pay, then you should have a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, and again, like first date, really, it doesn't, you could also just, ideally, again, in a normal and very binary normal situation, which is the current conversation, whenever it comes up, yes, the guy is generally expected to pay. And the girl should be like, if she says split it, that's going to sound good in a normal binary situation. That's going to sound great to the guy because he's like, oh yeah, because he's expecting to probably have to pay. Because generally the understanding. But if the girl, if you want to be like, oh, we'll do separate. Like just because on your date doesn't mean one person has to pay. You can still pay separate. You can still half it. Because I don't know. If you're a dude, you're in a tricky situation, binary style. What you got? No. Yeah, I know. Then invite her over and like cook something.
No, I had an add-on that's it.
So yeah, add on, yeah.
Or if it's a person that, you can see future dates are happening, you're like, hey, I can do this day, whatever. That's what one friend I was with at the time recommended me. Like, hey, we're doing movies this weekend, I got it. You get dinner next weekend. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite setup. Do you have an add-on?
Yeah, it's a bit of a troublemaker add-on. Instead of, figuring out who pays and dealing with these social unwritten rules, why don't you take that money, go to a Steam sale, get like 5.
Buy Towerfall Ascension and have her come play. See, all right, who's got the next question? I'll come to you next. What you got? How's it going?
Let's say I know this one guy. So he was with someone at the time, spent a lot of time with them, and then realized, oh,
problem.
man, they're not the one. Let me back up. After wasting all that time, someone else made more potential. If there's like a little time limit or maybe a probationary, you're like, maybe the person not in, maybe let me try someone else or whatever. So they don't like wasting time or whatever. So like when you think it's a good time to be like, maybe this isn't it, maybe I should back up, try to plus someone else or try to dedicate more time to that. So it's not all in vain.
What?
Or it just depends on
It depends on the situation. I also don't see it as quite in vain. It's not like when you're you're looking for an end goal. It's trickier. I don't want to sound like a poster, but like it's about the journey. But like you're learning on the journey. Like that's like the journey game. It's about eco. I think it's the same creator's journey. No. Either way, no, okay, so like when somebody says, like I was married for these many years and now it's all for nothing. It's not for nothing. You were living, you were human, you were having good times, having bad times, so on and so forth. So like when you're dating somebody, hey, if you think you should be out of it, then yeah, that's something you need to, talk about. If you're just looking for the next person, then you're obviously not super into it. So just don't drag them along too much further. Yeah, like it's not like we're not wasting time. If you're having fun, it's not a waste of time. If I didn't beat Witcher 3 yet, but I've played it for hours and had a fuckload of fun. It's not like I wasted my time. Not to compare, dating the games exactly. Would you?
I dated someone for 6 years. 6 full years, and then it went south. So it could go south at any point, and you have to not lie to yourself. I'm lying to myself for 6 years. Just be honest. Just be your own person.
Yeah, it's tricky to do. Like that's like the be yourself is like the classic like sort of good advice, but it's hard. It's so fucking hard to do. It's so hard to do. I'm not saying go wait tables, but I waited tables for a long time. When I first started, I would have like telephone voice, be like, "Hi, how are you doing? Can I get you a drink?" And it's like on my first restaurant that I worked at, and a table one time like soon into it was like, "I think you're like." They went to the manager complaining that I didn't like them. I was like, what? It was because I was talking to them like they were children, like because I was talking to them like, like I'm being too polite and weird, and it was on me. It wasn't them. I didn't dislike them. I didn't even know anything. I barely go to that goddamn table because it's a restaurant. But they thought I didn't like them because I was being weird to them. So like that was trial by fire of eventually learning kind of like, how do I just be comfortable in being me? And it's not easy. It took me years of waiting tables, which, it's not my advice. But that was a situation I was lucky to get in. That I was like, it's constant different social situations with different things that people different things that people expect of you, and many times a day. And if you can be consistent, then it makes them a lot more comfortable. Like I was the cooler at P.F. Chang's, the last restaurant I waited before I quit restauranting, because I wouldn't go in and talk to them like if a table was upset before they sat down, they would seat with me. Because I wouldn't go in and be like, "You guys okay? Is everything fine?" I would just go in and be normal. And if you can be normal, it makes the other person comfortable too. And it's not that easy. And I'm still not like always comfortable being me. Sometimes I get nervous. Sometimes I feel like people don't, whatever. But if you can work it a way to finally just kind of be comfortable being yourself, it does help a lot. Because it'll make the other person comfortable and it makes it easier for everybody. Again, it's not that easy. Anyway, somebody had hands up. You had an add-on or a question or just a joke?
Yeah. I guess it would be an animal/joke.
Yeah.
I feel like so comfortable, you figure, what the heck is the point of me trying to find someone else, and then you just go to Steam and get like 2.
Did you have an add-on to yours?
Yeah, I had a weird add-on.
Yeah, because this is still your question.
I'm pretty sure everyone's been through this at the time, whatever. There's like always that probationary phase. Like you don't bring all of yourself out, whatever. You bring your interview person, or whatever.
Oh yeah, you still want to be a social, normal person.
They do the same thing. They bring their interview person, like, "Hey, nice to meet you," blah blah. And then when you see the real person out, you're just like, "Oh."
See, that's another reason you want to be yourself, is because you don't want them to fall for the weirdo that you have to be.
Which actually goes back to a point I said before you entered, which was I went to a speed dating event.
Yeah.
And I said I wore my patch jacket.
Yeah.
While everyone else was wearing either like dress
the buttons up.
And one guy was wearing a full suit. And I'm like, is everyone look like they're here for an interview, while I look like I'm out on a town like I normally do?
Yeah.
And of course, no girl there liked me, but.
Well, yeah, because they were going expecting a certain thing at that particular dating thing.
I have a feeling that the people who went to that speed dating event were looking for super.
Yeah, they were looking for that kind of thing. What's your question?
So I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 with this girl for a while now.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she asked if I can trade my sword of the heavens with her. I kind of feel like that's kind of a big commitment. So
Yeah.
I guess the question is, like, when's the best time to fill her sword slot?
Dude, just take her on a quest with that sword and make her get her own goddamn sword. Yeah, I know. No, you cannot. That's something. It's like that's like a virginity question of like, when do I give her my heavenly sword? Yeah, it doesn't. That's a weird metaphor because then they're passing your virginity around. I wonder where my virginity is right now. Does it always move to the next person? Does it swap back and forth when they do it again?
The metaphor only goes at a certain distance.
Yeah. No, that's still like, I'm still gonna call it my heavenly sword. Virginity, that's a tricky, very un-black and white subject. That's a super great subject. This is a side tangent, but just for anybody, virginity is whatever the person that is holding it wants it to be. It's not penis and vagina. That's not virginity. Virginity is whoever is giving something that they haven't, that they're holding on to. Yeah. It's completely a social construct. It's not a bro. Say what? A sexual debut. But see, like I did not like, for me it was a penis and a vagina. Like for me, I'm not saying like virginity is that, but that's what I was holding on to give to somebody. In my brain. But that's mine. Doesn't mean that's everybody else's. Somebody was trying to talk to me like, oh, you had a blowjob before that, so you lost your virginity then. I was like, no. That's my goddamn choice. Like if you consider the first time that you ever did that, you're losing your virginity, then you lost your virginity then. It's not a broken hymen, it's not a penetration, it's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you give to somebody first, is my kind of view of it. Or nothing, or nobody's. It doesn't even have to be anything. Yeah. I mean, Chasing Amy was taught me that when I was young. I was like, because that great conversation that they have, and that was great to see, ages ago, is like, oh yeah, but like my friend broke her hymen whenever she was doing sports. So like, did she lose her virginity then? So on and so forth. Anyway, who's got a new question?
So, if you meet a girl in the context of something not geeky, how do you introduce her to the geeky side of you without like totally putting her off?
Yeah, that's a lot easier now than it would have been like 10, 15 years ago. I wear it on your sleeve, or literally, because shirts. Yeah. I mean, it's something that you shouldn't have to hide. Like, I mean, like, again, like, when you get really, like, I like movies a lot more than most people I'm around. So I don't exactly like go into the production of movies, like deep conversation. Like, yeah, keep it light for that until I find somebody who really wants to talk about that. But I mean, generally they know I like movies, and I will talk about movies more than, I guess they probably would in this kind of situation if it's somebody that doesn't have the same interests. But I mean, just keep it light, but you don't have to exactly hide it. Just keep it like. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm not a big fan of anime. And the first anime con, like the first con I went to was like an anime con, like a big anime con in Dallas. And I would go repeated time because it's a fun event for me, even though like I don't care specifically about anime that much. But again, like I play a lot of anime cons now, and there's not a lot. There's a few I do like, and because it's still a thing. Like most art forms have stuff that I'm gonna like. There's like 2 country artists that I can listen to. It's really hard though for most of them, especially now, because it's just a mess. What's up, Andy? Who's got? So I saw hands over here. What you got?
I just had an add-on.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like sooner or later you show your truthful self to somebody.
Oh yeah.
And who knows? They might like the same thing you like, or be like, I like Dragon Ball Z. I like Dragon Ball Super. Okay, that's close.
I like Dragon Ball Super, but I'm personally tied to it, so that.
Like no, you should give an inch at a time, inch by inch by
Well, yeah, you don't. I mean, like, have it just come out in a conversation. You just want to be like, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. Super Metroid's my favorite game, so on and so forth. Yeah. I mean, Super Metroid's my favorite. I could talk about that.
It's always important to like introduce it at intervals, like you said, but like up the interval every little.
Yeah, you can go deeper into it.
Just be like, oh, well, like talk about Mario, and then well, and then actually, and then before speed running, and then before you know it, you're at
Yeah, and yeah, and if they don't know about it, then that's something you can talk about. If they're interested in it, they can keep listening. But sometimes you got to know.
I like how we're talking about like introducing someone to something you like, as if you're like giving them medication, like
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you don't want to open with speedrunning because they're probably, if they don't, you find out if they like that kind of thing, if they like games enough to know about speedrunning, but.
Not everybody is like might be into that particular niche that you might be into, so you have to like kind of slowly introduce them. You don't want to go.
You got something?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what you want their role as your partner to be in that part of your life. Like, I don't give a shit if I have to do like, if you're really passionate about Linux shells, but you don't need someone to be there while you're. And some other things you might want your partner to be into, and it's really important that they are, and like it's gonna be personal.
Yeah.
just have a natural conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
This thing, and or they ask you, what was the thing you're doing? You tell them what it is, and if they
Yeah.
ask questions, you keep going. And if they stop asking questions, probably time to change the subject.
Yeah.
Something else you're both more interested in.
Yeah, that's the tricky part is like sometimes like knowing like, just move on. like conversation wise, it's something that you have to learn, I have to learn still. Do you have something to add?
2 weeks.
No, come on. All right, you got 2 weeks of speedrun talk, and then you move on. You have 2 weeks of showing in this. You wait till Awesome Games Done Quick, till you meet anyone, and then just submerge them. Who's got other questions?
No, mine was just an observation.
What was your observation?
Just as George Carlin always used to say, talk about similarities rather than differences. Everybody loves talking about differences all the time.
Yeah.
I tell that to my students. I'm like, I don't want to hear what you have to say about someone else. Tell me about you, how we're similar.
Also, for conversation, ask people questions about what they do. They know about that. People know what they know themselves. Not everybody loves talking about themselves, but if you can find something that they do that they like doing, they could. Yeah. What was your add on?
You want to go? Okay.
All right, good question. That was a good question.
But yeah, I was wondering, should there be a panel for people who are, just in a spot where they just cannot find something for whatever reason, like, you think there should be like somebody to say, listen, you're never going to get anywhere, you got to die alone. Here's how to do it.
No, I'm good. Most of those, I do a lot of these, and people will show like. Well, if there is anybody in here feeling like that, then nah, dude. But no, I mean, like, there's plenty of people that come in here that will ask me questions afterwards and stuff. They don't want to ask in front of everybody, and they feel, and that's fine. You can ask me questions. I'll be around all weekend. Do you have a question?
Oh, I was just going to simply ask, how many people know why they're alone? Because I know that's the biggest question as to why, like, they don't understand why they can't find anybody.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is anyone in that spot? And you don't have to put your hands up.
Raise your hand if you know why you're alone.
It's just these are important questions to ask yourself. Like, just ask yourself, what is, like, you're going to think of yourself, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
So I've dated a lot of, for lack of a better word, crazy women in my life.
They dated a crazy dude. Right back at you. Right back at you.
You're gonna have to try really hard to justify that.
Yep, that's a.
One lived on a campfire. Is that crazy?
Oh, yeah, that's destructive.
Yeah, so thank you very much. So you have to, like you said, you have to.
Ooh, this information coming about that statement.
Now that being said, you do have to look through that cliche soul searching. And I remember I sat down with my mom and she's like, what are you doing? Why are you picking women that are, yeah, like, you could get in a domestic situation where you could get, somebody could get in domestic, and that's the worst thing. I work in law enforcement. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All the time. But that passion that people drive into each other, it's pretty
Yeah. I mean that kind of like danger passion can be like a drug type thing. Like you like it. I know it's bad for me, but I get it's good for it. Well, I mean it feels good, but that's what you want to search for yourself. But that's a problem with finding too many crazy girls. I think also the problem is not ever quite finding somebody. Did you say 2 weeks?
No.
Okay, that's the only. Okay.
Me and a couple buddies had a conversation with another friend because he kept being alone. The problem he kept being alone was because he kept dating the same girls, the same type of wrong girl for him. So he ended up being alone over and over and over again. We told him, you need to mix it up. You need to try somebody different this time. We'll pick a girl for you, and you date her, and see what happens.
Did it work?
It lasted longer than normally, but it was essentially it ended up being him. He wasn't.
Well, yeah, because the only constant in that variable, in that equation, is him. Not. It wasn't all the girls are the same. He's the only one that's the same in that situation. What is the same kind of girl?
He had emotional problems that he had to deal with later on in life that from his past.
Do you have something to add to it? Or did you have a new question?
I think a lot of the time, people are attracted to what they're used to.
Yeah.
They go for the same type of person, even if it's gonna crush you in the end.
Yeah. You feel like you have less to learn.
Yeah.
Do you have an add-on?
Yeah, I had an add-on. I think sometimes maybe it's not a lot of people are doing self-journeys or whatever. Like, there's another thing. Like, let's just say know a guy again. And he's like, oh, it can't be me. I know it can't be me. Usually people don't count themselves out. Whatever.
No, yeah.
Then finally it just click and just hold on, maybe. Doing a lot of soul searching. Look like, okay, I know I got this flaw, whatever. I know to work on this, work on that, whatever.
It's almost like.
I think another big thing, especially nerd-wise, a lot of people don't know their self-worth. They're like, and like if you're selling yourself at a market, you don't sell yourself for less, you sell yourself for more. Like, I deserve this, I deserve that, whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, she's here, so I can suffice with this. No. I feel like a lot of people are not giving themselves more credit to like.
Well, yeah, self-worth. Yeah, self-worth is a big thing. Is like, again, like settling doesn't mean you're settling for somebody less than you. It just means that you're settling for somebody that you don't get along with as well as you want, and that can lead you to a tricky situation. It's not that they're worse or you're worse. It just means that, hey, people are different. And it's like it's like you put a cat in a room and another cat in a room, and sometimes they're cool, but sometimes you put them in the room, they just immediately fight. They don't know each other. Just animals will just not like each other sometimes. People just sometimes don't like each other. Doesn't mean that they're fucked up or you're fucked up. Just means that sometimes people don't like each other. Did you have an add-on or a new question?
I was gonna say, like, all of these things, like the past, like, 10 comments going back to the guy who's over there just stepped out, is about kind of just recognizing patterns of behavior and, asking yourself, okay, I keep winding up in this situation. Why do I keep winding up in this situation?
Yeah.
In the example of, like, dating someone who isn't necessarily, dating people who aren't necessarily good for you, it has to kind of be, okay, what are the qualities that I'm seeing that I like about this type of person, and how do I remove those from that type of person so I can hopefully find them in a different kind of person?
Yeah. Do you have add-on?
Oh, yeah, sorry if I already talked about this earlier, but.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I feel like as a gamer, I sort of have a complicated relationship with NPCs. And when you're treating partners like potential NPCs, I mean, it's especially strange for women, but we can get into that another time.
I'll go back to Witcher 3. You can talk about that weird. So we can go back to the weird Witcher 3. It's so weird. Go ahead. I'm just joking.
But sort of, yes, as seeing a partner as a sort of a potential.
As a goal. Yeah.
When they don't do what you want them to do, or when they're not, quote unquote, giving you another chance. Like it's more complicated than that. It's not about their like a challenge that you're overcoming.
Yeah.
They're their own person with their own wants and needs and capriciousness, and they might not be like there might not be a single way to get to that person.
Yeah, and that's another thing to go back to. I think she's gone now, but the girl, she was talking about her friend who's like, I did this, I expect that. Like, again, it's not The Sims. It's not Witcher 3. There's not a line of dialogue that's just going to get you something you want. What do you got?
I was just going to say, this is serious this time. I was just going to say that, self-improvement, self-compassion, self-understanding, these are things you should most definitely pursue, like regardless of whether you get someone or not. You might be lucky and get somebody, and that's great, It's like the pepperoni on the pizza, but, pepperoni don't make the pizza.
No, I like that metaphor.
The point is that, you got to love yourself before you can really love other people.
No, that's super important. It is super important. Because again, like you said, like if you're going to a market, you're not going to be like, this is why I'm hot. But you're going to be like, you don't want to be like, this is why I'm terrible. Like, don't say either of those. You're not trying to prove to somebody that you're not as worthy for them. Like, you're not worthy for them. Like, that's what, again, it's something that I'm like, well, they probably don't want to talk to me. But I don't even try. I'll even try sometimes. Look, I'm stupid. I'm still pretty hard-headed. But I'm not as stupid and hard-headed as I used to be. There was a girl I had a crush on in college, and I would have movie nights in my dorm room because I had my dorm room to myself. I was lucky. And so like there would be like 10, 15 people in the dorm, and I would go up to the top bunk because that was the only room for me. But like say that then one time there was a bunch of people in there, and the girl that I crushed on climbed up on top, laid her head in my lap to watch the movie, and I was like, man, I wish she liked me because I'm stupid. Like you have to sometimes... I've been surprise kissed more like a couple of times. I'm just like, I just saw her coming out of nowhere because I'm stupid. Like it's my own self-worth kind of situation. Like you're worth some shit. Like people are, you're here, people are here. We all have the problems. A lot of us deal with self-worth issues. Like you are worth some shit. Like people want to talk to you. They're not. If somebody doesn't want to talk to you, it's usually on them and not on you. It's not because like they don't even know you. That kind of situation. Like. You're worth some shit. He said it better. You're a pizza. Yeah, they're just not in a mood. Like again, it's not always like you have to understand. It's not always you. It's not always me. It's not.
I've had one friend who usually doesn't talk to anybody. Before I immediately knew him, before I got to know him better.
Yeah.
I kind of took offense to him not really speaking to me when I want to speak to him.
Yeah.
But then I realized he does this to everybody, so it's kind of like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I used to run an open mic at the same college, and there were people that were really good. Like I would run it and like perform, so like I was like not the center of attention, but like I was kind of like the host of the thing. So I was like the guy at that open mic. And there were people that I really respected because I really liked the music they made, and I thought they were super talented, and I would be kind of nervous to talk to them. But being that I was the guy there, and I was talking to everybody, and I wouldn't talk to them, they thought I didn't like them. Like there was a few people that thought I didn't like them. And it was because I liked them, like it's because I respected what they were doing that they thought I didn't like them. So sometimes you gotta realize that somebody might like you, that might be why they're not talking to you. It's because they're nervous around you and stuff like that. So you might as well try and talk to people you want to talk to, and if it doesn't go well, you can stop talking to them. What time is it? I think it's 5 minutes. Who's got any last questions as we wrap it up? Yeah.
I was arguing with my little brother this morning, just funny throw out there. So he's getting engaged with her, and I'm his best man, unfortunately. And just one of those times, like I was just stuck in the house or whatever, and he was like, "So what was this? You're gonna meet people, talk to people, hang out with people?" PS4, man. He's like, Theo, there's like 6 to 8 billion people out there. Go out there and talk to them. And sometimes maybe it's hard, sometimes it's easy. Just I guess how you engage the challenge. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, man, I feel lonely. I'm not talking to any girls. And be like, well, it says I'm literally not going anywhere and talking to any fucking girls, so it's my own goddamn fault. But like it says, again, like you have to, if you want to meet people, you got to meet people. And it's tricky to just go out there. You got to know where to go, what to do. And we can go back to the beginning where it was like, like meetup.com or like find a board game shop or find a video game like place where people are doing stuff. Here's good because the people are here to be in a situation where people are talking to them. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I've done these for like 3 hours before. It's fun. If there's anyway. Who's got more questions?
7 p.m. tonight.
Oh, 7:30.
7:30?
Yeah, 7:30 I'll sing you songs at the concert hall if you want. Yeah, I'll be my concert's tonight. That means I don't have to rest my voice. That means I don't have to go to bed at a reasonable time tonight. And like rest my voice like I sometimes do.
You talk to a girl. Y'all decide to go to a movie and dinner. Do you do dinner and movie or movie then dinner?
I usually do. I like movie then dinner if we're going like those. If that's the choice of those orders, because then you have a movie to talk about. Because then you have something that you can discuss. Yeah. Because dinner can be tricky. That's laser fucking focus, and that can be tricky. It's a high pressure situation.
Oh my God,
Yeah. So you saw Jumanji? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, dinner taking too long to be late for the movie. If you're yeah.
popcorn is expensive.
Yeah, you can do them inverted for sure. But it gives you generally, I mean, it is dinner then movie, but like I like dinner after a movie because you can relax. Yeah. Yeah, true. Eat before you go. Wait, are you talking about like that? That's adding the whole aspect of like I don't know. I can't eat unless we go to a thing. You can still eat. You're gonna eat whether there's a movie or not. Or are you gonna?
I worked at a Red Lobster fellowship from movie theater.
Oh, but.
Valentine's Day was the worst day of my life.
Dude, yeah, I worked at P.F. Chang's and Valentine's Day sucked.
When closing's at 1 and it's 1:05, like it's still open, right?
Yeah.
February 15th, a candy sale.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
So I've had friends who are really good friends with a girl, and the girl deserves them best friends, but they're like, I want to ask her out as a relationship, but they're afraid that friendship might tarnish. And she's like, well, I didn't want this to be part of our friendship where you want to date me.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that kind of situation?
Oh yeah. And okay. So what if she's good friends? That should be a discussion that doesn't ruin a friendship. Hopefully, like ideally, it should be a discussion that doesn't ruin a friendship. Because like that's on the person that wants to date the other person. That's on them because they're gonna be a little weird about it at first, probably because it's something they either maybe if they didn't expect it, they're gonna be weird about it for a little bit. And if you can just be their buddy, like go back to just knowing that you can be a friend because they're their friend. Then you're the one who asked them about that is the one responsible for not being weird, because either they're gonna drop it and the other friend can have an easier time to deal with it because they're also not the one dealing with feelings of liking somebody like that. But if it's a surprise to them, then it shouldn't. It's weird. Okay. Go back to where I said I love somebody that I barely talk to. I feel like you need both people because you can't just love somebody that isn't returning that. Like it's like trying to have a chain with a fucking open end, and you're just like, well, I love you. No, you don't. You're not creating any kind of connection. That's something that you have to deal with like infatuation and love. It's different a little bit when the friendship because there is a connection there. Like, do you? Is everybody caught up on Game of Thrones? No? Because I got a good metaphor. God dang, I have a good metaphor. Man, that's a good.
Game of Thrones is done. Which
Gazunda.
is I'm just gonna watch the whole thing again, so that way I don't have to deal with these spoilers. Because all my friends who watch Game of Thrones eventually spoil the latest episode.
Oh man.
It's
Wait, what?
Inevitable at this point. So.
Oh yeah.
What I intend to do is to wait until I forget. Wait until Game of Thrones drops in popularity, and then watch it when it's reached that peak.
I watched it much later. I remember hearing Red Wedding, and I knew something was bad, but it was still a surprise to me because I didn't know like what episode it was. I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. I knew that they're like Red Wedding, important people died, but it was still like when that happened, I got goosebumps and feel bad right now, and that happened ages ago. But again, like that's a whole spoiler discussion. What you got?
So going back to the thing of dating, transitioning from having someone who's your friend and being like, I want to date you.
Yeah.
Also, it shouldn't come out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be a surprise.
They should ideally maybe, I think at least, should drop
Yeah.
So when that discussion comes up, it's not just like, say what?
Yeah. Because then they're gonna feel a little bit betrayed. Because they're gonna feel like you're on like sometimes. Again, everybody's different, but like then you're like, what? Were you only like hanging out with me because you wanted to do it? You're like, are we friends? Are we friends? Like that's why again, like they're gonna have to deal with the weirdness, but it's gonna have to be on the person that asks the other person. They're the ones who's gonna have to be not weird about it. Yeah. I mean, because like people can be flirty. Some people can be flirty just by nature. Doesn't mean they want to date or anything like that. But yeah. Did you have an add-on?
Yeah, 1 week. Once you get those feelings, you got 1 week to let them out, or else they're just gonna linger and linger.
It is better to tell them soon if you feel that way.
1 week flies fast, though.
1 week goes real fast, man. Boom. Yeah, you ever?
It's going to be on your mind all the time anyway. So you might as well get it off your mind. Because it's just going to sit there and it's going to stay.
Yeah.
Unless you just like being a hopeless romantic and writing poems in your diary.
If you're using it to create art. Yeah, yeah, because the week I got Minecraft, that wasn't a week of my life. That wasn't like I couldn't have measured any other time on that. I dodged that. Oh my God. I dodged that game for so long. Like I was like, I know I'll like it. And then I got it on my phone, like a demo, and I was like, I'll try it on my phone. And then I went to bed at like 8 a.m. because I went to my computer, I was like, fuck this. Because it's everything. I'm kind of tired of it now, but man, it was everything. Jeez, that's fun. Any last questions?
Yeah, it's a bit of a segue. Relationship. Now, a little bit of backstory. With me personally, I like to have a wide variety of friends who are, vastly different than me. Because I like to, get the different perspectives on life. It just makes life more richer. Now, one of the things I noticed is that a lot of my female friends, they just will ghost on me. And I don't know why. It's not like I'm making any sort of sex jokes. It's not like I'm hitting on them. They're like, I guess you could say, a sister or something, or, just one of the guys, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I talk to them. I don't bring them, blow their phone up or anything like that.
Yeah.
I talk to them. They respond with some, throwaway line, and then they just never respond again. I got over it, but I'm just kind of curious as to why that, happens.
That's a good question. What he's saying is like, so is it just girls or girls and guys? Or you just notice the girls?
No, it's girls.
It's just the girls that do it? I mean, you're saying you're not like coming on to them or anything. It's not like making it weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because you're not. I don't know. Maybe some of them expect something and they're like, well, he never made a move. Because a lot of people on any side of the thing can just be like, well, they never made a move, so I gotta go. Whenever it's like, it's not as if it's not their responsibility to do it as well. I don't know. That's a.
Just one of those mysteries I could never solve.
Yeah. I don't know. Anybody have any advice on that one? Because. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're not. But again, like, it still feels bad if somebody just like ghosts on you. That's not fun. If it happens like multiple times.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They can be geeks. They can be churchgoers.
Yeah. The only constant in that equation is you. I'm just joking because I don't know, man.
I mean, I figured it's kind of like, with anything else in life. It's like, well, shoot, I guess those type of people who apparently have tight agenda, that's not good, don't particularly want to be friends. That sucks. All right, well, I'm playing Smash with it then.
That's why all your advice has been go to Steam because it's not working out in the first place. Anybody else? Anybody have anything to put in on that? Yeah, that's a tricky situation. That seems like I'm sure it happens to other people, but it doesn't seem like a.
I've got tons of very sad stories. I don't know if you really want that.
I got those too. What did you have a question?
So if you've got someone you like and you want to ask her out, but you're not quite sure if she's single or not, like how do you approach that situation without just like is that?
They turn you down, and and then you're like.
Oh yeah, so are you saying just ask like, are you single? But I don't know that.
Are you single? Are you single and interested in me specifically?
Yeah. Because then you're going to a whole like, that gets more scientific.
And also, maybe she's not single, but she's poly.
Yeah, true. So, Yeah, that's again, Facebook helps with that a little bit. It's a little bit like it's. Did you have input on it?
I will say there's also there's like a direct, indirect way. Trying to think how I did. Like if you're talking to someone and you're trying to find out like what's their orientation. No, that's not what.
Well, yeah. What are they interested in? Yeah.
You're just talking. Like man, like they're doing this and that, whatever. Like, oh my God, your boyfriend must be so lucky to like have you. Whatever. It's like what are you talking about? Like, I have no
I mean, again, like different things can work for different people because like you can say how like if somebody you could probably say that and be like and they'll just giggle and get it, but if somebody who's not as comfortable being like goofy can just be like, your boyfriend must love you, it might come off really weird. So again, you want to try again like it's tricky to just be yourself, but you want to try and make it something that you would say to somebody. I don't know. I'll invite them. Like so, like if I'm interested in dating somebody, like one of my things to do is like I'll have people over at my house, a group of people. I'll have friends, and they can invite friends. So so it's not a hype. It's not like a me and you situation. If I'm interested in somebody, I got to know if I'm gonna have fun hanging around with them. I got to know if they're gonna have fun hanging around with my friends, and so on and so forth. Because I want them to hang around with I want to be their friend. I want them to be a friend. So I like to cook spaghetti. So I'll cook a bunch of spaghetti, and I'll have people over, and we'll like. It also shows, the person I'm interested in that I can cook some things. I can't cook a lot, but I can cook a couple of things, and I can fool them into a thing I can cook.
Wear your sexiest apron.
Yeah. But then you can be like, you can bring a friend, like that. Like you can even, if you want to throw in, like you can bring your friend or your boyfriend or whatever like that. But we're gonna be hanging out at my house, playing fucking Towerfall or something like that, or Cooking Mama if you want to scream at each other.
You think Cooking Mama?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's probably not a good game to start with. I don't know. Then you can see how angry they get at other people whenever they're trying to do teamwork exercises.
4 people on co-op, each one gets a button.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Or what's it? Use Your Words. My friend made that game. I like that game a lot. I like Jackbox too. It gets a little crazy. Some of the games aren't as fun. The percentage one is really neat.
There's that word where you put in everyone puts in a word and one is the actual true word that goes with the statement. Everyone else just.
I like Balderdash, that kind of thing. Yeah. Use Your Words is a little more high pressure because you just have to they give you a prompt and you just have to write out a funny thing. But God, I end up laughing a lot more with that game and having a lot more fun just because even if somebody gives up, sometimes it can be they're like, this is just stupid. It can be like the solid winner because.
When you give someone who's not a gamer maybe a controller, if they're just saying just use your smartphone.
Yeah. Those kind of party games are great. All right, I'm gonna wrap. I gotta. Which.
I had to add on to what he said. I just want everyone's opinion on this. So Becky was saying, you're trying to find out someone, how they feel about you, or they're single, or they're with somebody. Do you like when a certain friend of yours is just like, oh my God, Ashley and Theo, y'all be a great couple together? Is that a no-go or a yes for somebody? I know some people.
It's tricky, but again, that would work if the person's doing it is that's just.
Sometimes it's like a little hitch thing, whatever. You're like, oh, I got my wingman or wingwoman, whatever. And sometimes you're just like, shut up.
That has not happened to me with my circle of friends, so.
Yeah, that's a trickier situation because you're putting that person in an uncomfortable situation. the other person that you're trying to find out about. I don't know. I'd say just try to hang out with them some. If they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they'll probably talk about them. Sometimes I have friends that, not that I've hit on them ever, but I'll be or have or not, but very surprised that they have somebody here, a friend of mine. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, sometimes you'll never fucking know ever with the way they behave. But again,
We actually have to wrap up.
yeah, we got to wrap it up. All right, thank you guys so much. I'll see you later.